Today we're taking a look at this huge 75-inch QNED Mini LED TV from LG, and this is the unboxing and first impressions video, and then in a few weeks I'll be doing a more in-depth review. So full disclosure, before we get started, this video is sponsored by LG. I'm not being paid, but they've sent me the TV for free to showcase to you guys, but that of course does not change my opinions. So we'll get straight into the unboxing. It's nice and easy to unbox and pretty much the same as any TV. Now you open up the box, lift the box over the TV, and then you can just lay it down and put the stand on. Now I didn't read the instructions and I put this TV on its back to start with, but this TV stand is secured to the VISA mounts on the rear of the TV, so I then had to raise it back up and place it on the front. I always recommend leaving the packaging over the screen for protection when setting it up, and I use the polystyrene in the TV's box to help you safely install the stand. Now once the stand's attached, you can put it back upright, place it where it needs to go, and then plug it in. The exact model number of this TV is the LG 75QNED866QA, and of course it's a 75-inch TV. Now all TVs are looking pretty similar these days, but you can see we've got nice slim bezels all round, although the bottom bezel is a bit thicker than the top and the sides. Now this TV is 1.67 meters long, 963 centimeters tall, and 44.9 millimeters thick. And we've also got a center stand, which is great news for those of you that are going to be placing it on a TV unit, so you don't have to worry about the length of the TV. For those of you that are going to be mounting this on the wall, we've got 400 by 400 VISA mounts, and the TV weighs 39.3 kilograms. Now of course it's a 4K TV, so the resolution is 3840 by 2160. We've got mini LED quantum dot nanocell color technology, and it's also HDMI 2.1, so you can play your games at 4K 120Hz. Now this is a 2022 model and it's part of LG's mid-range, but it's packed with plenty of technology to be able to deliver a stunning picture. Now the quantum dot nanocell technology is essentially a filter. The backlight passes through the nanocell and the quantum dot materials to deliver improved colors with better accuracy. We've got a mini LED backlight with precision dimming, and this is essentially smaller LEDs to give better control of the backlight, and this is going to deliver deeper blacks with better contrast. We've also got precision dimming, and this uses unique dimming zones, which again helps with deeper blacks, a more vivid picture, and higher contrast. It's powered by the Alpha 7 Gen 5 AI processor, and this uses a deep learning algorithm to recognize the content and optimize it on the fly. So it basically enhances the picture by making adjustments such as brightness, picture detail and volume dependent on the content you're watching. We've got HDR10, Dolby Vision, HLG, and it supports HDMI 2.1 for 120Hz gaming on consoles, and we've also got support for variable refresh rates. For the gamers, we've also got HDIG support as well as GeForce Now and Google Stadia built into the TV, so you can just pair a wireless controller and play your games directly on the TV. Now that being said, Google Stadia have actually announced they're closing down, so it's going to be GeForce Now only. We get HDMI variable refresh rate along with AMD FreeSync, but there's no NVIDIA G-Sync. Now when it comes to connections, we've got 4 HDMI ports in total, and thankfully all of them are on the side of the TV. Now 2 of these ports are HDMI 2.1, whereas the other 2 are regular HDMIs, and HDMI 3 is for eARC. Now we also get a common interface slot on the side, the optical out, and a USB port, as well as another USB port on the rear. Now we've also got an RF connection on the rear along with an Ethernet port, and all of the rear connections are facing downwards so that the TV can still be tight to the wall if you've got them wall mounted. Now we've got a downward firing speaker system, and this consists of a 20-watt sub and then 2 10-watt speakers for those of you that aren't going to be using a soundbar. So that's enough of the specs. Let's turn the TV on and see exactly what we get. When there's no signal, we get the art appearing on the screen, and then if we press the home button, we see the WebOS main display. Now we get recommendations for lots of different media, along with all of the installed apps in a line underneath. Below that, we get the home dashboard, we've got mobile connection, AirPlay and more, and then below that, we've got plenty more recommendations. Now the TV runs WebOS nice and smoothly, and as you can see, I can go through all of the sections with no lag or stutter. Now the TV uses the Magic Remote, which I'm sure most of you have probably seen by now, and I'm a huge fan of the remote as it's got plenty of shortcuts, it supports voice searching as well as the air mouse. Another thing we can do with this is make our own shortcuts by using the numbers on the remote, so if I open up YouTube and hold down 1. That then sets 1 for my quick start for YouTube. Open Netflix.
Okay, I'll go to Netflix app.
Open YouTube.
Going to YouTube app.
So let's start with some 4K HDR content, and straight away you can see on this video we've got nice rich vibrant colours and a great level of detail. Now the picture profile is currently on standard, and overall it's just an incredible looking picture. We've got bright vibrant colours along with nice deep blacks and great shadows. We get the usual picture profiles that we'd expect from LG, so that's vivid for those of you that want things very bright and saturated. We've got the standard profile, we've got cinema home, game optimizer for when you're playing games, and then finally the filmmaker mode. Now the filmmaker mode is a popular choice for films, and it basically turns off the motion smoothing while preserving original aspect ratios, colors and frame rates. So this is basically to deliver the director's original version the way they intended it to be. Next, we'll take a look at LG's 2020 OLED The Black video. This video is of course for showcasing the performance of an OLED display, and this is not an OLED TV, but it lets us look at how well the mini LED and precision dimming are working. Now as you can see here, it's fantastic. We've got some great contrast between the color and the darkness, and we don't have any light spilling through into the dark areas of the display. We have nice deep blacks, and even when next to a bright color, it's still the same. So overall, it's great performance from the mini LED and the precision dimming. If we head over to a trailer, you can see just how incredible this looks, so it's going to be great for watching films. This is also a good place to show you the filmmaker mode. You can see that when we compare them side by side, it really does make a huge difference to both the color as well as the processing. Now directors don't want everything to be super smooth for the films, and they want that more cinematic look, and that's exactly what Filmmaker delivers. Now some people of course are just going to prefer to watch it with the motion smoothing, but it is great to have the choice. If we head over to Netflix and turn on some 1080p content, you can see that it still looks pretty good and it's perfectly enjoyable to watch. The TV is doing a great job at upscaling the 1080p footage, and even on this huge 75-inch display, we don't face issues with pixelation. Now if we also turn on subtitles, again you can see it performs well with the dimming, and you don't have any white from the subtitles bleeding out into the space around it. For those concerned about the lower resolution content, we'll just take a look through it now. So this video here is 720p footage, and you can see it's less detailed compared to the 1080p or especially 4K, but it's still well upscaled. If we drop to 480p, you can see there's a huge loss of detail, and as expected, things start to become a lot more pixelated and less detailed. It is still watchable though, so if you are concerned with a 75-inch TV in old resolutions, be rest assured that while it's not going to look brilliant, the upscaling does make it acceptable to watch. Next, we're going to put on some more movie trailers, and I was pleasantly surprised with the sound quality coming from the TV. While most people are probably going to be using a soundbar these days, this TV gives us a nice warm sound with enough bass to make it enjoyable to watch. We've also got plenty of preset sound modes to choose from as well, so we're just going to go through them now so you can hear the difference between them.
Took a video? Yeah, I took a video, man. Me and everybody else, look. Delete it. Henry, come on, listen. 4 shooters whiffed on this guy before you got the call. All right, 4. All them studs. You bring them up. It was beautiful, all right? I got emotional, tears fell. Delete it. I believe it. I believe it. All right.
Now finally, if we take a look at the gaming, as you would expect is incredible. We get nice rich vibrant colours along with deep blacks and great shadows. I've tried this over multiple different genres, and each game is just incredible to play in 4K 120 frames a second. By default, the TV switches to Game Optimizer for the picture and sound, and we've got plenty of options to configure. Now we've got presets for game modes, so we've got standard, first person shooter, RPG, RTS and sports. If you're playing at night, we've also got the dark room modes that actually dim the display, as well as a multi-view mode if you want another source on the display at the same time as the game. Now you can select side by side or picture in picture, and you can use the apps that you've installed on your TV such as AirPlay or YouTube, and you can also have live TV playing. Under the Game Optimizer settings, we've also got the ability to adjust the black and white stabilizers. You can adjust the contrast, black level, sharpness, as well as color depth. We can reduce the blue light for those of you that are concerned about visual fatigue. We can also enable VRR, AMD FreeSync, and even customize the menu's colors. Now overall, this is a great TV for the gamers, and it's thoroughly enjoyable to play. For those of you that don't want to be using the Game Optimizer, you can still use the normal picture profiles when gaming, but because of all the processing, you will get a little bit more latency. But as you can see here, I'm playing in the standard picture profile, and it does still play great. Now as I said, we can also access GeForce Now or Google Stadia within the TV itself. You simply pair a Bluetooth controller or plug one in, and then you can enjoy your cloud-based streaming straight from the TV. Now I'm not a user of these services personally, so I only have a free GeForce Now account, but I've tested it for this video and it does appear to work well. Just personally, I prefer to play things directly as I don't like the latency of cloud-based services. So overall, my first impressions of this TV are great. We get a great picture with some good sound and then plenty of customization. We also have a nice bright display, so this means if you've got the TV in your front room, you've got the windows open and plenty of light coming through on a sunny day, then it's not going to be an issue. With all the important ports being side mounted, it's also great as they're all there and easy to access even if you've mounted it to a wall. Now as I said, this is the unboxing and first impressions video, so basically just going through what the TV offers, but of course I've placed a link down in the description below for those of you that want to take a look at the detailed specs or even purchase one. Now of course, if there's anything I've missed or you've got specific requests for the full in-depth review, then just leave them in the comments and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, smash a thumbs up. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down twice, and I'll see you guys in the next one.